Fame game this weekend is the state championship. Grimsley versus New Bern. New Bern coming out of the 252 representing the East. And we got the beast of the East himself, KJ Sampson Jr., New Bern High School, class 2023. Florida State University commit, my favorite school. He's also the Carolina Recruits Player of the Year. We're going to get right into it. So, KJ, you had a great season this year, statistically, as well as with your team. But with you individually, what was one of the key factors that led to your success?
I'll definitely say, just knowing that I underachieved last year with everything I was doing, and I just had to make sure that I could do what I had to do to make sure my team won. And so I had 96. Right now, I have 96 total tackles, 18 sacks, 35 QB hurries, and 6 pass deflections. And I just want to shout out to my coaches and my trainers, so they got me right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, also, like you dominant on defense, also dominant on offense. I want to talk about that for a little bit. Almost scored 700 points. I know senior running back Aaron Harris scored 7 touchdowns a couple of games ago against Roseville, as well as Jaden Wallace, another senior running back. But I want to spend a little bit of time talking about the junior quarterback who was also a defensive back, DeMar Tucker. I know the game that I've seen him play was he scored 3 touchdowns against Havelock. So tell me
Right.
about how you kind of thrust it into stardom and how you got to this point. This is just showing his natural leadership ability.
Yeah. So yeah, Damari, he's I mean he's my young boy. I've known Damari for a while, but he just took on that role of being our quarterback when our quarterback that we're supposed to have, he ended up leaving a couple weeks before the season started. So he took on that role and then he just embraced it, and just knowing that he wouldn't get to play that much defense, but he would play more offense, and him just knowing that and just taking on that role, it helped us out a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely stepped up. Also, going back to the defense, only gave up a little bit more than 10 points a game. And I think most people already know yourself, Will, um, uh, Rimmer, as well as Latavian Green, a couple more guys at the front seven. But I want to spend a little bit of time spotlighting the back
Yeah.
guys, DBs, Amari Bird, Evion Smith, as well as TJ Henry, led by senior Shamar Wright. These guys played a number of Power Five wide receivers and tight end commits throughout the season, and only, like I said, only gave up about 10 points a game. Starting with Javante Vereen, Johnny Williams, Isaiah Crumper from D.H. Conley, Noah Rogers, DeMarcus from Roseville, as well as Nathan Leacock, excuse me, from Millbrook. So tell me a little bit about the performance from those guys. I know the guys in the past have been kind of looked down upon as far as like pass defense, but this year they kind of took it personal and stepped up. So talk a little bit about that.
Right. Like you said, I mean, most of the guys they took it personal, because I mean everybody says New Bern has a good run defense, but they can't defend the pass. I feel like this offseason they really took it personal, and they worked their butts off in the weight room, on the field, and just making sure that they could do what they needed to be done and asked of them. So I definitely say they really stepped up. Um, with them, with Shamir, he's one of the guys who's been a DB for us for since he was a freshman, sophomore. So he took on that role, and I can tell that he's like really grown into it because I've seen the growth from him myself, just being around him. And with Avion and TJ, both of them being sophomores, I mean, you don't really like sometimes like you have those guys that can come in and play early, but you just don't expect some guys with their type of size to be able to do some of the things that they've done for us. And then with Amari Bird, he's really stepped up a lot. Amari Burf starting up the season, he was going back and forth between playing corner and outside linebacker and sometimes safety. But I know when playoffs start, he was like, especially when we played Rosa, he's like, I want to take on the responsibility of guarding Noah Rogers, and that's what he did. And I think I'll say he did a pretty good job. So, and then who else is back there? Who else? Q. Q is another safety for us. Um, he plays a little bit safety outside linebacker for us. He's been doing a really good job. You know, you just can't ask any more than what he's done. especially when you're doing their half their part of the job. It's just taking care of itself.
Exactly. And I know you got a big task. Well, those guys got a big task with the whole team, but specifically,
Right.
he's Alex Taylor and this weekend, but I have another big task for him tomorrow night. But speaking of which, tomorrow night, big game. You guys clinched the East in the highest level of football in North Carolina was 4A football, representing the East. A little different. A lot of people kind of don't see past the 919, for as like when it comes to the eastern part of the state. So you guys
Right.
representing 252 as well as representing Eastern North Carolina. How does that feel for this tomorrow night's big game?
It feels good. I mean, me and the guys, we've been talking about this since we were little. Most of the senior group, we've been playing together since we were 4, 5, 6.
Wow.
I mean, so like it's coming back together. It's like coming full circle because we remember growing up watching them guys, watching when Mike Hughes, all those guys were going for state championships and playing for state championships, and then just having like coaches on the staff that were here and they know the tradition of New Bern. It's just it's what is expected from New Bern, and so it's definitely feels good to be able to get back to the big game and to hopefully be able to and just be able to um knowing that this is what we got to do to make sure we're successful at the end of the night.
Exactly. And I mean, that's cool. I'm glad you even brought that up because you guys are a lot. I mean, I know it's a trend right now. A lot of guys kind of click up and become a powerhouse and kind of go. This is a homegrown group of kids that have been together 4 or 5 years old. I know when I first met
Right,
you, you told me like you guys came up with one another, coming up through youth football all the way up to now. Congratulations,
right.
man. East is proud. I know 252 is proud. I'll see you tomorrow night, and good luck to you.
I appreciate it.